Good afternoon, everybody, and I would like to welcome you to today's NACTA webinar. Today, we have the pleasure of having the first time I have met Mark. He is the CEO and owner of Festival Pros. Mark Hellman Regaby is a NACTA supplier. First time I've worked with him, and I'm very excited to be able to hear his presentation. Going to do a little bit of housekeeping before I put myself on mute. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lorene Romero. I am the NACTA webinar person as well as a NACTA member. I am going to be recording this. It will be up on the NACTA YouTube channel in about the next 48 hours. I'll make sure to send you a link that is included in a follow-up message from Mark. I have everybody in mute. That way we don't hear any squeaky chairs or background sounds, because we want Mark to be able to have a clean, uninterrupted recording to do this. I will be in the background, so if you do need to reach me for any particular reason, please put something in the chat box and I will get back to you directly. We are going to have a question and answer session at the end, so if there's any time during Mark's presentation you would like to put a question in the question box, we will read it at the end for you. So I think that is about it, Mark. So I'm going to turn the reins over to you, and I will be here when you're ready to come have me come off mute. Thank you again, Mark, for being here. Here you go.
Thanks, Lorene. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me today, and thank you to NACTA for hosting this with us. Appreciate all of you for taking time out of your busy days. I know we all have people to get back to, and so we'll try to make this as efficient and informative as possible, and the whole idea being how can festivals have an impact on your business and create a high degree of client satisfaction and new commission opportunities for you. So let's jump in. Festival Pros is our new brand, actually. You might know us as runningofthebulls.com or Running of the Bulls Incorporated. We're actually going to talk about the Running of the Bulls because that's where this company was born, the whole concept of making festivals easier to access for mostly our North American guests, and especially in Europe. So we're coming up on the Running of the Bulls. It happens in July, so I thought it would be appropriate if we just did a little deeper dive on this one destination, and we can talk about our other destinations in the Q&A. But we have BastileDay.com for Bastille Day in Paris, and we own St. Patrick's Day, S-A-I-N-T, Patrick'sDay.com for St. Patrick's Day in Dublin. But by far and large, our lion's share of our clients are going to the Running of the Bulls in Spain. So it's a wonderful sales opportunity. And most people don't know it, but you can do it in a classy way. So that's what we're here to show off. Let's go a little deeper then into how you create the perfect Pamplona trip. Just by way of introduction, that's me, my wife Jill, and our two kids, our son Ellis, who's 2.5, and our baby Lily, who is 4 months old. There's a slight chance you'll hear her in the background, so my apologies in advance. So Festival Pros, we've been doing this since 2006. We're a Florida corporation. We're bonded and licensed as a seller of travel. We've won the 2015 and 2016 TripAdvisor Certificate of Excellence, and I hear this next year's awards are being announced on June 21st, so we're on pins and needles for that one. We're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau, and we launched the Festival Pros brand in 2016 to encompass the new destinations that we're adding. So Pamplona, Spain itself is home to the San Fermin Festival. We all know it as the Running of the Bulls, thanks to Ernest Hemingway bringing it into popular mythology, and now every high school English teacher who is assigning it is part of our marketing team, and I appreciate them. So, and that's something to keep in mind, because every one of your clients has heard of it, and many of them have it on their bucket list to do sometime. The festival itself honors Saint Fermin. He was the son of a Roman senator, and I think it was 2nd or 3rd century AD, and he got in trouble for baptizing too many people in southern France and northern Spain and upset the powers that be. So he was martyred by a guillotine. We'll talk about that a little bit later. There are over 400 religious and cultural events spread over these 8 days. But as you can imagine, most of us know the bull run itself is what makes it famous. 1 million people come to this festival, and it's only a city of 200,000. So the services, as you can imagine, are overwhelmed, and that's where we come in. We help people navigate exactly how to make this happen and pull it off without a hitch. 40% of the 1 million people are from North America, so it's a fantastic target market. I guarantee you, no matter what size of town you live in, someone from your town is going this year to the running of the bulls. So every day at 8 a.m., July 7th through the 14th, around 3,000 people run in the streets in front of 6 fighting bulls and 6 steer. The fighting bulls are the black one, and the steer are the blotchy ones. They've been snipped, so they lose their coat color. And they're kind of the mother hens that help the bulls get on down the road and not get too distracted, having a field day by tossing some of us around like rag dolls. Because of the tossing around like a rag doll thing, most of our guests watch from one of our 2,000 balcony spots that we rent from local homeowners and then turn around and make them available to your clients. So we have all kinds of options ranging from $99 a person to $249 to I've got a really super special spot this year that it went for $700 a person, just as an example. So great ancillaries beyond flight and hotel to create a commission opportunity for you. There are also processions through the streets. This happens to be the procession of San Fermin, where the golden figure is carried through the streets on July 7th, and the whole town turns out for it. There are events for children and families. Every day there's a procession of the big heads, like this guy here, and the giants, which are 15-foot tall paper mache giants decorated in the historical, I guess they represent every culture that has invaded or dominated Spain over the centuries. So a pretty impressive array. One of my favorite events is the nightly fire bull. It's a paper mache bull that's carried out from behind City Hall around 10:30 at night and spews, I'll say, non-OSHA approved Roman candles. And you can definitely get seared. I like to say this guy has his protection. He's got his hat on, he's got his sunglasses on, and he's drank probably half that bottle of sangria to not feel the searing of his skin, which is probably happening right there. We also feature the famous Spanish tradition of bullfighting each afternoon in Pamplona. Happens in the historic Plaza de Toros arena. Now, the largest spectacle of the fiesta is kind of unexpected. Our guests tell us that this is the thing they remember more than anything else. It happens on July 6th, and it's actually the opening ceremonies. The reason it's so notable is 10,000 people cram into a square that shouldn't fit 10,000 people and begin to party like it's the end of the world. They jump and holler and push and spray sangria and champagne. They throw mustard and flour and raw eggs at each other. It is the world's largest mosh pit, and it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see. And the deafening roar that comes up when the mayor comes out and announces at noon that we are officially in fiesta is absolutely incredible. It's like nothing you've heard in your life. So we have balconies all around the square. It's not safe to be down in the crowd below. So like I said, we do it in a classy way. So we host VIP parties on private balconies and terraces. We have wonderful regional wines and tapas and cava, which is Spanish sparkling wine, and champagne. Just one thing that this highlights the reason why you want to be sure you're with a verified supplier and someone who's worth their salt. There's a lot of confusion in the market. For example, some of my competitors are selling opening ceremonies tickets at this lower square, Plaza Castillo, and people are buying them happily when the actual ceremony is in the smaller square, Plaza Consistorial. And that's just to demonstrate how there is the chance for people not getting exactly what they paid for, and it reflecting badly on you as the agent. And that's something we're very sensitive to. And we're the only tour operator that voluntarily makes ourselves accountable through reviews on TripAdvisor. And we're actually launching right now with Trustpilot so that we have verified third-party reviews to avoid and demonstrate to our clients that we didn't take anybody to the cleaners last year. So we also host a VIP party at the closing ceremonies, which is a beautiful candle-lit event on the 14th. So if they can't make it on the 6th, book them in for the second half of the fiesta and close it out from one of our balconies with a beautiful view of this candle-lit carpet below. We open things up with an invitation-only cathedral tour and welcome tapas with gourmet tapas on the 5th to ease into the festival. I also personally host a dinner each night at the Performing Arts Center. We hire a wonderful chef to cook for us together as a group, and then we join the patrons of the Arts Center on the rooftop to watch the fireworks get shot off from the Citadel right across the street. We offer daily winery tours. This is a beautiful, relatively new bodega called Otazu, which is, you're starting to see some inroads in restaurant menus and things in the US. This is their 60 million euro cathedral of wine they built underground so as not to disturb the landscape. One of the other features that we've launched just last summer was our first year to operate it. We've launched our own app, and because Pamplona is so full and so crazy, and this is true of all festivals, you're not only in a foreign city, you're in a foreign city on its busiest day of the year, when your normal services like taxis or Ubers or anything that your clients could turn to get help or get around or escape where they are and get back to their hotel are just not functioning. And so, because they're overwhelmed. So we've launched this app to lead clients through their day. And what it does is we load their specific itinerary into the app, and it leads them through step by step. This is your current event. This is your next event. It has a short description. You can read more about it on the website, and you click the Maps button, and it'll launch your mapping application to give you walking or driving directions to your next event. We find that a lot of our guests are no longer up for follow the flag kind of group tours, and they want some freedom in between highlights. And so we bring them together for the highlights, and then we turn them loose in between. And it's a model we're seeing a lot of success with. Of course, the same itinerary can be viewed online as well at trips.festivalpros.com, and make use of it that way. So as you finish the booking process with us, we turn over the customized itinerary to you and to your client to make sure they're comfortable. So just quickly, this is called the perfect Pamplona trip. So we've kind of created a criteria for how to judge your choices in town. And the reason that's important is in a festival, you're dealing with lack of sleep because of the location. It might be too loud, a poor location, because something that looks like it might be in the city center. Just one example is in Pamplona. There is a Marriott property, which makes a lot of us Americans feel really comfortable booking in there. But unfortunately, it's a 25 to 30-minute walk to all events. But people say, oh, I'll just get a taxi. You know, we do thousands of dollars of business with the Pamplona taxi every year. I've got a VIP number. They've got my caller ID on file. I'm supposed to get moved to the front of the line. I can't get a taxi at peak times in Pamplona. So your clients end up walking every time they want to go back to their hotel room, 30 minutes each way. And so those are the kinds of things that we help you walk through and work through with your clients. Obviously, quality is a major issue. Some of our clients, it's their first time outside of the United States because this is a bucket list item and it's their excuse to leave the US for the first time. And so encountering a European hotel, which doesn't have the same space, it doesn't have the same capacity, may not have the same standards that they expect when they travel to a Marriott in Chicago or LA or New York. And so we help work with you to set those expectations. We've also come up with a concept called Host Hotel, which means we have our own staff in the lobby. We have a concierge desk just off the lobby. We have our city center headquarters hotel at all times has 4 or 5 of our own staff there to support your clients, which we're getting really great responses from that level of support. And it's showing they're showing a lot of preference for these properties and realizing how much better off they are because they took our advice on what property to stay at. And obviously, because they're more in our world, we're able to help them build a more complete schedule with your collaboration and create a great commission opportunity for you. So time to bull run route is a good example of the kinds of things we think about. How are you going to get to that thing that is the whole reason you went to this city? Another example from Paris is the big event in the morning is, sorry, my headphones are making funny sounds, so I'm going to switch to the speaker. Lorene, I just want to make sure you can still hear me.
I can. You're actually loud and clear. The other one was doing good too.
Okay, so I'm going to switch now, and I'll make sure you can still hear me at this point. How about now?
Yes, and we can be a phone commercial. Can you hear me now? Yes. It's going great.
And I promise I'm not going to go back to introducing myself and going through that whole spiel again. Let me just click to the right spot. So we were here talking about hotels, and I apologize, everyone, for the interruption. So that one example is in Bastille Day in Paris, the two anchor events that occur. In the morning, you've got the military parade down the Champs-Élysées, where they put every military piece of hardware they have, drives down the street, marches down the street, or flies over you. Well, that's a different position than where the fireworks are going off in the evening at the Eiffel Tower. So something to consider is, where do you need to stay? How are you going to get to that event? We know that the roads that the Paris police shut down that would prevent you from getting to that event, and what time we need to leave to get there. So that's the idea of working with a company like us to get to get around the festival and get the secret behind the curtain ways to get around. A bullfight, it is controversial. Some people don't want to go, and we certainly understand that. But we also see a lot of people wanting to go and experience it for the first time. So just a very quick example on that. We've worked with the Plaza de Toros for 10 years now, so much so that we've been given our own box seats next to the president of the arena. So it's getting those inroads and those opportunities that anybody who had just walked into town or rolled into town might not even get to go to the bullfight, much less have that kind of a seat. The perfect activity. This is one of my favorites right here. It's called capella, where you learn how to manage the cape. No swords involved in this case. And they call it torero training. So your clients can learn how to step out of the way, hopefully, as the baby bull comes by. There are a few cases where they don't step out of the way, and it can be very comical unless you're the person in the ring. The perfect meal. Now why is that important? It's important because during festivals, all the services are stressed to breaking point. And a restaurant, for example, is in their best interest to serve their local clientele. So if it's July 4th, you want to celebrate with your friends and family and go to your favorite restaurant. Same here. If it's Bastille Day in Paris, if it's the running of the bulls in Pamplona, they want to go to their favorite restaurant and celebrate. And the restaurants want to take care of their most loyal patrons. So it's very hard to get a good meal and a good table in Pamplona. And we work with them now and offer prepaid restaurant reservations because in the past we found they wouldn't accept foreigners' reservation because we as foreigners had earned a reputation for making a reservation and not showing up and leaving that table empty. So there's a disincentive for restaurateurs to accept foreigners' reservations. So just a little example of solving those problems. We go even as far as helping them have the perfect outfit. It is obligatory. It's not by law, but pretty much you have to wear red or white when you're in Pamplona for the running of the bulls. And so people don't believe me. They say, oh, it's only if you're running with the bulls. I said, no, you won't believe when you're walking down the street and see 1 million people all wearing exactly the same thing. You'll think you've joined the world's largest cult. So you have to wear red or white, and we provide that to them if at all possible before they leave on their trip. So that's just a little example. That's our online shop. But I flew through that because I wanted to save time for questions. I know you guys have a lot of questions about where to go, what to do, and how to navigate festivals. So we're happy to answer that. So Lorene, I'll let you manage that part of it.
Absolutely. Some of the questions that are coming up is obviously about flights, transfers. What's the best way to, do they coordinate with you? Is it all as a package? You know, I'm betting this is going to be somewhere you're talking about this in a few minutes, but those are kind of the questions that are coming up.
Yes, and that's a really good point. We are a ground operator, and so we do not do air. Very happy for you guys to do that, and also to do pre and post. Festivals create wonderful opportunities to create pre and post in the region around the festival. So it's a really nice opportunity to build up a nice long schedule for your client. We do make a lot of recommendations. I was just talking to someone this morning who was beside herself because she didn't think she could get to Pamplona on time. And she said, I read somewhere that Pamplona doesn't have an international airport, so I didn't think I could fly into it. And so I had to back up and say, well, there are 5 flights a day from Madrid, so if you can get yourself to Madrid, I bet you can get to Pamplona. So simple things like that, we're happy to explain, that Iberia has 5 flights a day, or that Air France flies into Biarritz, which is just across the border, and we can send a car. So we have a wonderful car service that we work with, and so we, basically everything from the moment they touch down, we can help with, and it's all commissionable. And just while we're here, I'll go ahead and mention our commission rates for a la carte items start at 5%, but if as soon as you get above $1,000 per person, you're at 10%, and if you're over 3,000 per couple, we move to 15%. So especially at the beginning of the festival, when there's so much to do and prices are at high season, it's not that hard to get into the 15% category, and we love rewarding our travel agent partners.
All right, the next question that I have is what size group, see, I'm telling you, it's the coffee thing. What is the size of group that you have? How does this work?
So yeah, that's a great question. We host 1,500 people a year in Pamplona, as an example. And that's where our whole philosophy of coming together for highlights and then sending them apart to do their own thing. We often work with groups, whether it be multi-generational trips or corporate hospitality trips. We've had insurance brokers bring their clients. We've had bankers bring their clients. We've had entire Mexican restaurant chain bring all of his franchisees every year. And so we do create a custom itinerary for that group to keep them together, but they remain relatively independent. They use their apps to move from one thing to the next. Maybe we get them a private room at a restaurant. They have a private balcony to watch the bulls go by. They have their own section to watch the bullfights together. And so it's those kinds of things where we do keep the sense of group, but then they also may join my welcome dinner, my dinner that I host the night of July 6th, where we're going to have 100 people. So it's, again, highlights and then free time, and then highlights and free time is how we manage it.
Perfect. Those are the questions I have. I didn't know if you had more. Are you going to direct people to the website on how to reach you and to get more information? I think this is awesome. And I do remember the Running with the Bulls webinar. I do remember that. It was pretty good. It was like, wow.
It was a while back, wasn't it?
It was, and I'm still here doing this.
Well, we appreciate NACTA, and we appreciate working with you guys, and we do our best to support the industry. We were at GTM the last couple of years, and are trying to be as visible as we can. We're happy to support you with your clients, even if you have last-minute requests for this July. Best place to reach me is just go to festivalpros.com and click contact. You can also, I guess I could start I'll just show you runningofthebulls.com, and we have a travel agent section on runningofthebulls.com. If my internet will catch up here. And so if you go to runningofthebulls.com and click on travel agents, you'll find our travel agent section. We also have chat, and you can just jump on chat if you need a quick answer if you're on the phone. And there's our contact information. We actually answer the phone. We have a wonderful receptionist, and we'll do our best to support you with a quick turnaround on quotes. So just let us know how we can be of help.
Well, excellent. This has been awesome. We really appreciate you having here. Let me check one more time before we close to see if there's any last minute questions that popped in. And let's see. Somebody's asking if you would like us to like you on Facebook. So I would say absolutely, absolutely.
You guys are wonderful. You're filling in the holes that I left in my presentation. We're ROTB, Running of the Bulls official, and you can see our logo there on the screen, 1591 logo. We would love for you to follow us on Facebook. It's a wonderful way to stay informed about what we do and the product, because we're posting almost daily. And it'll be a lot of fun during the Running of the Bulls, and a good conversation starter with your clients. In fact, we're really great for clients who've already been to Europe 2 or 3 times. If they've been to London, Paris, Rome, and are ready for something new, a festival is a wonderful way to give them an excuse to go back again.
Absolutely. We do have one agent asking if there's somewhere on your site where they can find out more about Bastille Day, if you have any recommendations.
The best, fastest way to get there is bastilleday.com, BASTILLE day.com. And this video will give you a wonderful introduction. And then if you download our Bastille Day guide, you will be put on our mailing list. So it's a wonderful way to get caught up and learn a little bit more about how all that works. And then the sample itineraries are available under Bastille Day Travel. So it's a wonderful event. We highly, highly suggest it as a great excuse. It's July 14th every year. I don't think I mentioned that out loud.
Perfect. We heard you. It's just, it was nonverbal. Actually, someone also asked, and it's the last question I have on the list, do you have any festivals in Asia?
Not yet. That's one of my great dreams. I really want to do the Holi, the Color Festival in India is one of them I really want to do. And then there's a Thai water festival where they all come out and spray water and throw water on each other, the whole town for days. So someday we'll get there.
Well, wonderful. Thank you again, Mark, for being on this. I was planting the seed with him as agents who frequent these webinars. I was mentioning the NACTA conference that's coming up in Anchorage from September 13th to 16th. I was kind of, planting the seed for him to be there. I think it would be a wonderful way for everybody to connect with him and for him to be able to connect with us. And besides, Anchorage in the fall, come on, doesn't get much better than that. So
that's right. I agree.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody, for being there. And again, I hope I see everybody at the NACTA conference again, September 13th through 16th in Anchorage, Alaska. All right, everybody, have a good weekend and be safe out there. Bye-bye, Mark. Thank you.
Thanks, Lori. Take care.